The biggest confusion I see between new players in Vintage Story is while they are trying to figure out exactly where to build or settle in the game. Although technically some places are more ideal than others, I'll be completely honest with you guys. My rule of thumb is always to locate an area with plenty of water close by so I can start my farm in a fairly quick manner, as well as just, make sure that there is plenty of trees around me. That way I never run out of wood as well. With my current save, I also wanted to make sure that my village is right underneath a tall looking mountain, just simply overlooking my village, but that is for no other reason but to look more aesthetically pleasing. But other than that, this is basically it, especially trying to figure out exactly where you're going to be staying at. Some people end up moving a little more south, especially when it gets cold. That way they can still grow stuff when it gets colder. But for me personally, as long as I have trees and water close by, I am pretty solid from there. Alrighty, so I noticed some of you guys have been asking me about my greenhouse design, and honestly, it is so extremely simplistic. Even a child could build something like this, and I'm just gonna be honest with you. As long as you have a crap ton of glass made using a furnace, or actually, a quick tip. You can make glass manually by combining 4 sticks with 2 clear quartz, which are all over the place, especially near the forest. Or if you want a semi-automatic process and put all of your quartz and leave it and come back later to collect your full glass, then I would strongly suggest making a furnace for that reason specifically. Back to my greenhouse, however. I basically have 2 layers of high quality dirt going between in both directions. Obviously, just please make sure that your dirt is aligned with your glass above and between sides. The more sunlight, the better. That's the rule of the game here. Just don't forget to rotate your crops, which is extremely crucial in this game for maximum results. So if you grow your onions on one side, simply rotate it to the other side for the next season. It just maintains a healthy soil and it prevents issues like pest and disease buildup and whatnot. Also, just a little disclaimer, I'm officially working on my full series for Vintage Story since many of you guys have been really asking for it. I'll be releasing my first episode on YouTube as well as just bits and pieces on TikTok. So if that is something you'd like to see in full, definitely consider following me on YouTube or not. I'll leave that up to you, friends.
Under the city lights, you roam alone. An invisible world we've never known. As the night descends and the shadows grow long, will you find a place where you belong? In the quiet of the night, you're walking through the shadows of a world forgotten.
As some of you already know, content creation is something I'm doing as a hobby and I still work full-time, just like most of you guys. So any support I get doing this means the world to me, and I just want you to know that it does not go unnoticed. I will continue posting tips and tricks, and those are not going anywhere. I just figure I'd let you know about the full series, especially because it's been heavily requested by a lot of you guys. I love this game so much, and honestly, I'm just simply having a blast here. So remember guys, just because you have crafted yourself a fur coat, pants, and gloves doesn't necessarily make you water resistant. Next time you're wearing your outfit during a cold season in Vintage Story, please pay attention as to what you are walking on. Walking on ice is okay, but even if you slightly touch the water while it's freezing outside, your character will start shaking due to the temperature drop, forcing you to craft a fireplace right there on the spot. Which is, lucky for us, is not necessarily a very hard thing to craft, but once again, if your character begins shaking, the only thing that will make that go away is immediate warmth. In a dangerous situation, you can technically sprint through one exposed block of water while everything else is frozen without falling through. Just remember that it can still technically make your character cold in certain instances. But next time you are being chased by a pack of wolves, or even worse, a grizzly, you can technically run through one block of water without even jumping. Just make sure you are sprinting. And yes, before some make a comment, grizzlies do hibernate during winter time in Vintage Story, but do remember also, that water does freeze before snowfall, and that is why I'm talking about grizzlies as well. Let me show you just one of the things on this list. This is just one out of 100 things that is so uniquely different about Vintage Story, especially when you compare this to Minecraft. Keep in mind, this is what you can do in the vanilla version with no mods at all. So this is a wall. This is how your wall would typically look like in Minecraft, right? But let's take a look at Vintage Story. Once again, completely built in vanilla, no mods whatsoever. Do you see the detail that can be created completely using a simple chisel tool, which is easily crafted using copper ingots in Vintage Story? You can just simply adjust the size of your chisel tool. You can simply use small details on one singular block. You don't have to go extensively heavy as far as how many blocks you place in order to have detail. As a matter of fact, when it gets cold outside and you don't have a whole lot going on and you don't feel like exploring in the blizzard, just simply begin designing around your village. Definitely a time killer here. So you may have seen a few playthroughs about Vintage Story and now you're thinking about getting the game but you're not quite sure how to go about it. If that is you, this video is just for you. Also for all the other players that have already purchased Vintage Story, if you get friends or other people on the internet that you see asking about how to get this game, feel free to tag them either in this video or simply send this video to them. Either way works. I feel like the amount of times I had to direct someone to the Vintage Story website is absolutely insane, so I figured I may as well just make a video about it and just address some things about mods as well. To get a Vintage Story, just simply Google the name Vintage Story or simply follow the website link I have on the screen. You'll have to create an account and link your email because that is how you will receive the digital copy of the game. Also, let me address a couple of rumors. This game does not have a launcher. The very second you download this game, you launch the game as is without any external support. There is no launcher. The very same applies with updates. You do not have to manually update this game. The second there is an update available for you guys to download, it will notify you the very second you launch the game. This is not 2012 where you have to stay on top of your updates at all times. You are also not playing on the pirated version of the game either. If there is an update, it will notify you immediately. Also through their website, you will have a ton of mods available from the very beginning. This game started out as a mod and the modding community is very much respected here. Modding is 100% supported, and once you download your personal favorite mods, as soon as you launch the game, you can activate them with the click of a button. Vintage Story will recognize your mods immediately. It's as simple as that. The reason I don't have any mods selected on my screen is simply because I want to showcase people what Vintage Story is capable of from the very beginning as a vanilla version. That way there is simply no misunderstanding. I will, however, make a separate video demonstrating different mods, but for now this is simply how you go about getting this game. And for the rest of the people complaining and saying no Steam, no buy, guys, Minecraft isn't on Steam, and guess what? People still suck it up and buy it anyways, because they know for a fact they have no other choice. Life is tough, you gotta wear a helmet sometimes. Alright, just real quick here. Well, I guess for one, let me clarify some confusion. I'm currently in the new world that I have created for my series. You guys have been asking for more lore content and my previous world had not activated. So I decided to differentiate that with my blue character. Of course, that's why I'm blue. And of course, upon request, this is fully loaded with lore content and pretty much everything you would expect out of your typical Vintage Story experience. Wanted to make this video because I completely forgot to mention it in my previous guide with cattails. But let's say you stumble across a lake and you found plenty of cattails, but the place where you want to settle in at and build your village has none. Well, if that's the case, then just simply harvest the roots of those cattails and plant them right next to your home. They will completely grow fine and in any pattern you choose them to. Just simply make sure that there's plenty of water around them. And that's pretty much it. The Mother Nature will take it from there.